are listening to Mike Guido and Josh Tariff. Buckle up! Buckle up!
All righty, here we are on Mike and Josh.
Mike and Josh.
Exclusively
Mike and Josh.
on the Grid Network.
Spit the facts, cut the crap, get the latest, let's run it back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome in to Mike and Josh, exclusively here on the Grid Network. I'm Mike Guido. That's Josh Tariff. It is great to have you again on a Thursday evening. We have plenty to go over today. It is a lot. Josh, I mean, this might be one of our more jam-packed shows to date. We have a lot to talk about today.
We got a lot to talk about. Not all of it is positive.
No,
it's an interesting week of some troubled youths.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can, some troubled youths, some vets getting paid, and then like a Final Four and stuff.
Yep. We've got plenty of stuff to go over. So my schools down in Long Island are officially on their spring break. So I've let hair loose a little bit. Just let it flow.
The hair is loose. The shirt is unbuttoned. I see a t-shirt.
I am wearing a t-shirt. It feels like for the first time in 3 months, it feels like.
I don't even know who I'm hosting this show with today.
I know. It really is something, but it is great to have you here. Again, on another Thursday evening, exclusively on the Grid Network. Coming up in about 20 minutes. Who'd have thought that we'd see Kirk Cousins sign another 9-figure contract? And again, there's some stuff around that, but we'll discuss that again in another 15 or 20 minutes or so. He's got to be loving his agent, right? I mean, does Kirk Cousins not have the greatest agent in the history of sports? I don't even know who it is. Who is Kirk Cousins' agent?
I got all that. I got all that ready. The man who is now neck and neck with Michael Jordan as the greatest name in the history of sports, Mike McCartney. With Vayner Sports is
he's a Vayner. He's a Gary Vaynerchuk guy.
Yes.
Gary V. Wow. Listen.
I will give you all of his numbers in just a little bit.
Boy, oh boy, that's gonna be fun. The ABS system has been an interesting story in Major League Baseball, to say the least. I mean, it's been, I'm sure, rocking the boat with a lot of umpires and everything. Like, it's really something. I'll be honest. It's you're seeing a lot of calls overturned. I mean, what was it? It was CB Buckner that had 6 calls overturned in one night or something like that. It was some crazy number. So yeah, we'll discuss that. Is it working out in Major League Baseball? Is it serving its purpose? We'll discuss that as well a little bit later in the show today. The Final Four is this weekend. Who's going to take home a national title? I haven't checked my bracket in 2 weeks.
Mine's still looking good. Mine is still looking good. So far gone. I mean, all the money that I put into all the bracket pools that I had is like, it's history at this point. In fact, you know what? Let me do this now. I'm actually going to check now. So I am shockingly low. I am 23.4% on picks. I have been dreadful. I honestly think I might be. So I am in last place in one group, and I am in 34th place in another group. Out of how many?
Out of 50?
Hey, you're ahead of people.
Out of 50, I believe. But let me tell you something. I'm doing better than my wife. I am doing better than my wife.
That's just rude. That's just rude of you to say on the worldwide.
It's the only thing I have. Jeez, it's the only thing I have.
How about you ask me, hey, Josh, remind me who was your finals and all that. Like, are you going to ask that or anything or no?
Hey, Josh,
Yeah.
who is your Final Four?
Oh, well, I have UConn beating Michigan in the finals in my bracket. So that is looking quite possible right now.
You're looking pretty good right now. There you go. You're looking pretty good. So let me see. My Final Four was UConn, Illinois. No, wrong.
I was going to say, then you're doing really well.
And I'm doing really well. That is not. Where are my picks?
Well, while you're trying to, I had UConn, Florida, Arkansas, and Michigan. So I still only got 2 of the 4 in the Final Four, but I have the 2 that I picked in the finals.
Okay, so here we go.
In my bracket pool, it's actually quite simple. 4 of the top 5 teams that are currently in my bracket, I had UConn. One of them picked Illinois. One of them picked Michigan, and one of them picked Arizona. So it's literally just come down to, okay, which one of these 4 wins, and that person wins the bracket pool.
There you go. There you go. So okay. So what did I have? Why can I not see? It's like it's showing me.
It's because you burnt it to the ground.
Well, it is showing me what the actual results are. But I want to see, when I click on my bracket, I want to know what my picks were.
They probably, whatever site you're on, it probably just removed it from their system so you don't have to relive the tragedy that was your bracket.
So, okay. So I had Florida, Duke, Iowa State, and BYU.
So you are 0 for 4.
I'm 0 for 4. I don't have a single Final Four team. That is so, oh God. It's terrible, actually. I'm really kind of embarrassed. Anyway, away from that, let's go from one depressing story, my Final Four bracket, to another depressing story, which I don't even know that I would call it depressing, but it is certainly I believe the major story in all of sports right now, and that is Tiger Woods. This is some sort of, I mean, it almost feels like I feel like the entire world has to be conflicted on where they stand with Tiger at this point, right? Obviously, with everything that had to do with the documentary that came out about him a number of years ago, to him winning the Masters in 2019, to I mean, it was just Tiger's life is unbelievably fascinating, and there's no doubt that he's had numbers and numbers of troubles in his life dating back to his childhood. But I mean, so he goes, he gets arrested. He gets into another sort of traffic car thing. I mean, I don't even know what to say about him at this point. So Josh, let me just throw this at you. Everything about this Tiger Woods story is, again, I don't even really know how to describe it, but where do you land on this? What is your takeaway here from your reaction, or per se, maybe even to this Tiger Woods story?
So it's really 2 different things. One, obviously you feel sad and disappointed in the fact that Tiger, for I believe now the 4th time, has received a DUI and has gotten in a car accident and is most than likely going to seek treatment.
Yeah.
At the same time, when is enough enough? Why? I don't care how big or small of a name you are. Why does someone get the opportunity to not face consequences for breaking laws and risking potentially hurting people? I mean, I'll put it, Mike, you work in the education field.
Mm-hmm.
If, God forbid, you got pulled over for a DUI, are you able to go back to work on Monday?
Nope.
No. He's done it 4 times.
Yeah. Right.
But just because he is a legend in his profession, we kind of wipe the slate. Oh, we wish him well. We wish him the best. We do want him to get better. But the whole point of this, enough is enough. This man should no longer have his driver's license, and this man should no longer be allowed to play for the PGA. He's broken too many rules too many times. And there's clearly something deeper than that for him, where, yeah, he clearly needs help, and everyone wants him to get the help. And I understand that, and his fans should support him. PGA can still support him. His family should support him. But he shouldn't be allowed to keep doing the things that anyone else, if they do it one time, would be banished or suspended or punished or fired from.
Right.
There are multiple instances where he could have murdered someone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not okay. And that's one thing that I truly... There are many things in sports that we obviously have strong opinions on, that we understand, and obviously some things that we never quite really get, that are head scratchers. The biggest head scratcher for me is the amount of laws athletes can break and be back and welcome with open arms to their team, their league, and not face any proper consequences. I understand. He is not, I don't think it's even arguably, he is the most successful golfer ever.
Yeah.
And maybe one day someone will be able to break that. There's nobody right now, but maybe one day there will be.
Yeah.
That does not give him the excuse to be able to continue this type of behavior.
Yeah. 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 I mean, I think everything that you said is 100% right. I mean, I think Tiger certainly has a longer leash when it comes to this kind of stuff. And I
why?
I think it's because why? Well, here's the thing, like, we know why. We definitely know why. And the reality is that I don't know that that's going away anytime soon. Now, I think in this particular instance with Tiger Woods, I think most of I shouldn't even say most, but I think a lot of the favor that he had in the public are now saying, geez, Tiger, like, we can't keep defending you, dude. Like, at some point you're going to have to buckle up a little bit. There certainly is some of that to this. I do think he's fallen out of favor for a lot of people that have supported him in the past, including myself. I mean, even I am, I love Tiger Woods. I love Tiger Woods as an athlete, the whole bit. And because he is so loved and so legendary and so popular, that is why this stuff keeps kind of getting pushed under the rug, because I mean, you brought up a point of, like, he shouldn't be allowed to participate in PGA events anymore. And in a just system, you're probably right. Like, he probably shouldn't be, but the magnitude, the importance that Tiger Woods has to the game of golf, I mean, that's something that will never, ever go away. He is too important to the sport. And I'm not saying that you are wrong. What I'm saying is that the world of golf, I think, no matter what happens, almost no matter what, barring, like an O.J. Simpson sort of situation, right? People are going to support him. People are absolutely going to support him, especially now. I mean, in the instance of he's now going to go seek treatment, I would guarantee that the the primary reception that he's going to get once he gets out of treatment is going to be, well, we're rooting for you, Tiger. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be, well, this guy again. It's not going to be that. There's going to be a lot of support. But I think the more and more this stuff happens with him, just naturally, people are going to start falling out of favor for him. You know, even his biggest champions, I think, are really kind of falling back in their support just because they it's become so much of a pattern for him that they can't keep justifying his behavior. And I don't even know that they're justifying it, but they are, in a way, excusing it. I think that would maybe be the appropriate word for that, Josh.
I mean, there's a big difference to me between showing support for him and letting him go back to doing what he's been doing.
Mm-hmm.
You absolutely want to support him and hope he gets the proper help, which they've said multiple times now over the last 10 or 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean at this point, okay, cool, now go back down to Augusta and play. No,
right.
You should not be able to. Okay, could you still potentially have him as an ambassador for what he has done in some capacity, or he's like an analyst for Golf Channel or whatever? To an extent, yeah, you could still do some of those things. But to be able to allow him to be able to compete against so many people who don't break the law, who don't break rules, and he's done it time after time after time. Just because his name is Tiger doesn't mean he should get preferential treatment. I know I'm sound like a crazy guy on my front lawn saying something like that, because we know the bigger name you are in sports, the more preferential treatment you do get.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't be the case.
Oh, I agree with you. But I think the reality that we live in, Josh, and it's super obvious given, however many years, sports has been around and, all of this mainstream, whatever, we understand that Tiger Woods is the biggest name in golf history by a lot.
Yep.
Nobody even comes close. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tiger Woods has not been I shouldn't say a good golfer because, that's a pretty subjective term, but
he's been okay.
Tiger is 15 years at least past his prime. We are so far past when Tiger Woods was at the peak of his career, and yet he is still the biggest name in golf. The best golfer in the world right now is Scottie Scheffler. More people know Tiger Woods' name than Scottie Scheffler's.
Oh, for sure.
It's not even a discussion, right? So
it's going on 7 years since he last won a major.
Here's the thing, Josh. I honestly think Tiger is such a particular case when it comes to this stuff, because you talk about if Patrick Mahomes did this in the NFL, I genuinely think he'd have less I'll use the word, maybe not even in its true meaning, but less forgiveness than Tiger Woods does. Because Patrick Mahomes is not, granted how great he is, Patrick Mahomes is not that important to the NFL. He's not. Tiger Woods is golf. Tiger Woods is that sport. So any sort of if there's an opportunity for the PGA to just keep milking that cow, they're going to keep doing it. They will, they'll let him participate in every little thing that they possibly can. Listen, Nike let him go, and Nike let Tiger Woods go, and since then their golf department has been non-existent. It is gone. They don't even make golf stuff anymore, except for shoes, and they might not even make golf shoes anymore. Ever since they let go of Tiger Woods, that entire department has been gone from their company. So there's never going to be a world where Tiger Woods is not involved in a major way in golf. There just won't be. So, again, it is a very particular case in this where like the athlete is so much more important to that particular sport than the principles that sport would have.
Which in that sentence right there summarized the fact that the PGA has become an enabler. Because to your point, we can't do anything without him, no matter how good or bad or ugly or trouble he is in. We need to use him. We need to focus on him. We need to spotlight him. That is clearly doing something to his behavior. So the PGA is enabling this behavior. I'm not saying they're to blame for this behavior, but they're pushing this behavior. And you need to put up a wall somewhere, sometime, as far as to block this from continuing to move forward. Because, no pun intended, whatever one they've built, he has crashed through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And again, your example with Patrick Mahomes, the NFL might not push it, give as much forgiveness to Patrick Mahomes as the PGA is for Tiger Woods. But you know what? Just take Derwin James, another good NFL player, not as big as Patrick Mahomes. They'll give Patrick Mahomes more of a leash than Derwin James.
Yeah.
But the point is, there should not be a ladder of, based on how successful you are, is how much you can get away with.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a real thing, and that's 100% true. And I agree with you. And that's unfortunately not the world we live in.
I know. We should move to that world.
Create the time machine needs to.
I'm on it.
Yeah, there we go. Plenty of stuff on this, by the way, too. We'll talk Puka Nacua. We'll talk Jaden Ivey. It's a very uplifting show.
It's very positive, full of positivity today.
Yeah. Yeah, listen,
and your bracket's in shambles. I mean, it's just so.
No, yeah, listen, it's been in shambles since the first day. First day of the NCAA tournament, my bracket was a miserable mess. Anyway, you know who's not miserable is Kirk Cousins.
The GOAT.
He's not miserable.
You want to talk about a GOAT?
His agent might be his agent might be the Tiger Woods of sports agents. Excuse me. We'll touch on Kirk Cousins and his new deal. Yeah, that's right. Kirk Cousins and his new deal. We'll touch on that next.
What up, Cowboys Nation? We are Cowboys Can fans.
You know, like Canadian fan. And we're big Dallas Cowboy fans. We live stream every Dallas Cowboys game with our unapologetic, intoxicated play-by-play and color commentary, and we guarantee you won't find anything like this anywhere else.
We do that in the ring together?
We told you not so bland was here to stay, baby.
And if you like to have a couple cold ones,
Crack 'em if you got 'em, son. Crack 'em if you got 'em, son.
Crack 'em if you got 'em. And watch the Dallas Cowboys play football.
you need to join us 1 hour before the Cowboys kick off, throw your score prediction in our live chat, and if you're right, guess what? We'll send you a shirt, some Can Fan merch. Click the link, check us out, and subscribe if you like what we do.
Oh, and remember, BYOB.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Bring your own boosh.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Bryson Carver, and I'm the host of the Carving It Up podcast right here on the Grid Network, as well as my own personal YouTube channel, Carving It Up with Bryson Carver. On my show, talk about a number of the biggest topics in the world of sports, as well as culture and entertainment, and I include special segments such as Bryson's Best 10, The Ball View, and one of my favorites, Carving Up the Context. I also like to invite special guests on the show to get different insights and perspectives on topics, and most importantly, I love to hear from you, the audience, in the chat below. So check out Carving It Up 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific time on YouTube, Facebook, X, and on Instagram. Check the show out anywhere you get your podcasts as well as on the YouTube channel. Appreciate you guys.
Alex Rodriguez is coming out with a documentary, and it goes into detail. Like, he's never talked about the steroid part of it and all the pressure. You will do a lot more desperate things to try to stay relevant, and you can see that he was straining to be this person that he wasn't, instead of just being the person that he always should have been. Just, I'm Alex Rodriguez, because of imposter syndrome. He had to be somebody that he wasn't. Goes to the Yankees, gets another big fucking contract. I empathize with that, because when you're this great player and people are looking at you and they're looking through you, it makes you realize that maybe Alex doesn't matter. I have to be A-Rod.
Yo, this is Barry Grant Jr. I want to give a big shout out to Mike and Josh, and be on the lookout for more clips from All Even Podcast.
This is Patrick L. Brown, lead journalist here at the Grid Network, reminding you to make sure that you check out all of the latest articles over on the Grid's webpage under the blog section. There you will find the hottest takes in sports, mixed in with some mental health articles as well. Dare to be different? Enter the Grid, your new leaders in digital media, sports, and entertainment. As I always say, stay tuned.
Well, welcome back. We are back here on Mike and Josh exclusively on the Grid Network. That's Josh Tariff. I'm Mike Guido. It's great to have you here. Again, plenty of stuff to go over today. Just talked about Tiger Woods and the mess that he's created for himself once again. I mean, it really is. Again, to me, Josh, it is just, whenever these situations happen, I always feel some sort of sympathy.
Sure.
Only because, clearly there's a real issue there and they simply can't help themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It really is. And it is no secret that Tiger Woods has had his issues, even dating back to his childhood. I mean, all the pressure that he had with his father and everything, like it's just, it's a mess. Whatever that situation he's, kind of grown into, it's tough for him. I mean, with all the money and the fame and the legend and all of that stuff, there's certainly a lot of baggage that comes with that too.
So. Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, we can only go and talk about what we hear and see in the news. Obviously, we are not living the type of life that Tiger Woods is living.
Mm-hmm.
So there's only so much that we can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
All that said, it doesn't stop the fact that people need to get involved.
Yeah.
And stop it.
Yeah. All right. So let's shift to this. So Kirk Cousins, I mean, he does now, I think, right next to Scott Boras. I mean, he's got maybe the best agent in all of sports. Him signing a 5-year, $172 million contract with the Las Vegas Raiders this morning. So what's interesting about it is that,
don't be fooled by that number. He ain't getting that number.
It's not right. He's not getting that number, but it is still amazing. He's still getting, plenty of these opportunities. Let me just pull up the details from Schefter that he had this morning. So hold on one second. Let me pull it up. Here we go. So Kirk Cousins, this is his tweet. Kirk Cousins will sign a 5-year, $172 million deal with the Raiders. That in reality is a 1-year, fully guaranteed $20 million deal that also contains a club option for 2 years at $80 million. The Falcons are still paying a portion of his contract. Some of that is in signing bonuses.
Yep.
All of that stuff. So in theory, it really is not a 5-year, $172 million contract, but he is still getting $20 million for this one season, which again is quite a bit of money for Kirk Cousins, who in the last 2 years, might I say, last year in 8 starts, he made 8 starts for the Falcons last year. He played 10 games, completed roughly 61% of his passes, threw for 1,700 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions in 8 games. And then the season before that, in 14 starts, he threw 18 touchdowns and led the league with 16 interceptions. So it has not been a friendly 2 years for Kirk Cousins. At this point, obviously, I think most people are expecting that he simply is a veteran presence that might be a stopgap to a future quarterback, which in reality could be what the Raiders are looking for, right? If they don't feel that their presumed number 1 pick, Fernando Mendoza, is ready to start on day 1, then they have Kirk Cousins to eat a lot of those games, show him the ropes. Fernando Mendoza carries the clipboard for a little while until he's ready to jump in. So again, I was looking at this without reading the rest of the tweet. I will admit myself that I was like, I thought it was an April Fool's joke. Honestly, I really thought like Schefter was like drumming this one up, but it was like a little late. It is not. This is a real thing. Josh, what do you think? Kirk Cousins to the Raiders. What do you make of the deal, the move, the whole bit? What do you make of it?
Honestly, I love every piece of this as far as what the Raiders are realistically going to be paying, what Kirk Cousins is going to be making. And again, his agent needs a jersey hung in the rafters whenever he retires, because what he has done. I'm just going to give you the quick summary of Kirk Cousins' contracts. After the rookie, franchise tag in 2016 for roughly $20 million. Repeat franchise tag in 2017 for just under $24 million. Very rare for a quarterback to go back-to-back franchise tags. 3-year fully guaranteed $84 million deal. 2-year $66 million deal with 61 of it fully guaranteed. A 1-year $35 million deal fully guaranteed. 4-year $180 million deal with $100 million of that guaranteed. And now 1 year $20 million guaranteed. Through 2026, he is 3rd all-time in quarterback, or I guess NFL salary, and he has a 1-3 playoff record. That alone makes you want to rob a bank. I don't know, but it's but on the Raider side, here's why I actually love this deal. Because we talked about this a couple weeks ago when Carson Wentz re-signed with the Minnesota Vikings. We thought, why is he doing that? He would be the perfect fit to be the vet in Vegas to help teach Fernando Mendoza, maybe have to start the season, but have a vet who could win you a few games and be there to help him for at least 1 year to then solidify him for the Raiders to start their process. They are doing that with, in my opinion, a better quarterback than Carson Wentz is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Kirk Cousins ain't a top 10 quarterback anymore, but he's certainly better than Carson Wentz. And the Raiders are only paying him the vet minimum. They are only paying $1.3 million for this season, $8.7 million still from Atlanta, who now just signed Tua for the minimum, and are paying Michael Penix, who they don't know what they're doing with him. And so really all the Raiders are doing is they've guaranteed that they're giving Kirk Cousins a guaranteed $10 million in 2027, whether he stays on the team or not. So it's not impacting their salary cap for this season, where they've already had a very successful offseason in bringing in lots of pieces.
Yep.
You were also kind of worried on what's happening with Max Crosby, because as of right now, he's still a Raider, so that contract's still on the books.
Right, yep.
But you have a quarterback now who could start the season, could get you a couple wins depending on the matchups, because you got a couple weapons he can throw to, but also he has been in some high-pressure situations.
Mm-hmm.
He is a good tutor for Fernando Mendoza. I love Kirk Cousins being a Raider, even if it's just for 1 year. And the man has made now, with this contract, over $331 million with a 1-3 playoff record.
Mm-hmm.
And if you needed it, he's averaging 209 passing yards a game in the playoffs.
Right. So, right. And he's, I mean, listen, Kirk Cousins for a long time he's been good, right? He was good.
Yes.
But he was never great. He was never like, Kirk Cousins is the reason why, or he's part of the reason why, like, even like teams lock themselves up with bad quarterback contracts because they're like, well, look at what Kirk Cousins got. If that's all it takes for me to get paid, then guess what? And it really is like the fact that Kirk Cousins is the epitome of like the struggle it is to find a capable quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah. I would say, based on his stats, his best season was 2021. 4,221 passing yards, 33 touchdowns, 7 picks. So as far as the touchdown to interception ratio, that was definitely probably the top in his prime, because he had a couple years with a little more yards but more picks.
Right. Yeah, 4-time Pro Bowler. I mean, he's had a successful career.
Yeah.
But the fact that he is where he is now, and the notification just came out for me too, where they're saying he might start. Like,
yes.
He might start games.
I would not be surprised at all. He is your week 1 starter. I mean, he could probably be, pending how Mendoza is coming along and health and all that. He could be your starter for the first month.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think that's certainly a real thing. But is this not indicative of like the state of NFL quarterbackism right now? Like, isn't it just like finding a good quarterback is so rare that Kirk Cousins at 38 years old is going to get a fully guaranteed 1-year contract to bridge the gap for the Raiders, right? Like, it just the fact that Kirk Cousins has made $330 million in his career, is that not indicative of how many teams in the NFL struggle to truly find a successful quarterback? I think it's an indictment of that.
Yeah. So just now, most of these guys are technically still on their rookie deals, but this means next year in 2026, Kirk Cousins will be making more money than Caleb Williams, CJ Stroud, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, and technically he's neck and neck with Brock Purdy as far as the salary. Oh, and he's making a lot more than he's making 4 times the amount as Bo Nix.
Right. And again, they will certainly get their paycheck.
I need to know what deal Kirk Cousins signed with the devil, because I will sign it.
Yeah, the Illuminati.
I will sign that deal. And for the future of the NFL, you have to let Kirk Cousins lead a seminar during the combine about the business side and how to make sure you get paid.
How to finesse the NFL system.
How to finesse the NFL system and have a going on your 15-year NFL career where you're one of the highest paid players ever with 4 playoff games.
Winning 1.
Yes.
That's that's the part that gets me. Is that part. Is that he's won 1 playoff game. Now, does this count the playoff games of him as a backup or him as a starter?
So through his career, he has started 4 playoff games. He technically, his rookie year was
backup to RG3.
In 1. He backed up. He did come into that game. He was 3 of 10 in that game because I think that's one when RG3 went down.
Right.
With injury.
Yep.
So he was thrown in. His 1 playoff win was in 2019. Obviously with the Vikings at that point. So he needs to not just conduct a class. I need a self-help book from him. I need to know insider stock trades. I'm not saying he has those, but clearly he's doing something right.
Right.
So it is just unbelievable of what he's accomplished with doing technically by the stat line so little.
Yeah. Well, listen, you got to give him credit. You have to applaud. I mean, listen, let's not take away.
Let me just throw this because I just put in ChatGPT just for fun. Who would be the closest match in a different sport to the career of Kirk Cousins? The immediate first response, Bradley Beal.
I mean,
it is spot on.
Yeah,
it is
pretty
spot
good.
on Bradley Beal.
That's pretty good.
Oh my gosh, that's perfect.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. Oh my goodness. Right. Well, I mean, listen, I might give Bradley Beal a little bit more credit of like being, like at his peak. Bradley Beal was pretty nasty.
At his peak, he was an all-star, just like Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There you go. Oh
now you're having me pull up Bradley Beal stats.
Listen,
this is what we've come to.
As far as the Raiders are concerned, it definitely is a good move for them.
I love it for the Raiders.
It definitely is. It'll put them in a position to sort of improve next year, give them a real shot of what they see. It puts a lot less pressure on Mendoza to be the man right away. And it's certainly, Kirk Cousins is as reliable as they come when it comes to like veteran mentors. Like,
yeah,
he just is. Like, you're going to be very hard pressed to find a better person than Kirk Cousins in your locker room. So, there certainly is something to be said there. All right, you ready to go to break, Josh?
Oh, let's do it.
All right. When we come back, Puka Nacua, we were talking about this last week about how this was just a very odd story. Let's talk about Puka Nacua and him maybe going into a rehab facility. We don't really have like full-fledged confirmation on that, but I think we're feeling pretty good about it. I don't know. We'll touch on that coming up next.
Cowboys Nation, what up? It's your boy EJ Savage over here at Boys in the Zone, where it's everything Cowboys related, from the latest news, off-season talk like training camp and draft analysis, and of course, during season game breakdowns and commentary. Would love to see you in the chat kicking it with myself and other members of Cowboys Nation, whether it be a guest that I myself bring in, or Cowboys fan forum videos where I bring you guys on, or even other chat members. We're always live on Twitter and YouTube, talking the boys, so really, the only thing left to say is, how about them Cowboys? See you there. Peace.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Tim Barnett, and welcome into the Boston Sports Summit. If you're a fan of any of these 4 teams right here, or you're like me and you love all 4 of them and you follow them religiously, you're a big fan, this is the show for you. The big thing with this is real commentary and authenticity. I'm going to tell you like it is. If we're great, then we're great. But if we suck, I'm going to tell you that we suck and we need to improve. I'm also not afraid to call out our ownership or front office for making bad decisions, just like I'm not afraid to call out our coaches or our players for screwing some things up or doing great. All right? Because that's what this show is all about. It's about authenticity. So listen, if you're a fan of any of these teams or you're a fan of all 4 of them, check me out, the Boston Sports Summit, every Wednesday, live at 7 p.m., and it's electric, all right? We're going to go into some great detail about the Sox, Patriots, Celtics, and even the Bruins. And hey, you might even get a guest appearance from my little puppy here. So, it's a great show. Don't forget to tune in every Wednesday, 7 p.m. You can also follow me on all socials on Instagram, X, and YouTube, Boston Sports Summit. So check us out. It's a great show. It's a great time. Hope to see you there. God bless.
What's going on, y'all? It's Arthur Hurst from the Grid Network, letting y'all know to check out the Saturday morning tailgate starting at 10 Eastern every Saturday. Check us out on YouTube, X, Instagram, wherever you get your podcasts. Tune in for some humor, some great analytics between me, my boy Bryson, and Tim. Again, Saturday morning tailgate every Saturday at 10 Eastern on the Grid Network. See y'all there.
All right, welcome back. We are back on Mike and Josh exclusively on the Grid Network. So before we head into hour number 2, let's discuss this Puka Nacua story. This is I mean, we were talking about it last week, Josh, about how, the whole thing with the biting and, whatever else was going on. Obviously him throwing out the anti-Semitic remarks as well. He is now apparently, the reports are saying that he has now checked himself into a rehab facility. He's checked himself into treatment. Again, like I said, a very uplifting show today. So the report of this came out yesterday, and everybody was saying, well, and again, it was a Schefter tweet. And I can't tell you how many comments were just like not the right April Fool's joke to say. That's not the April Fool's joke to make, sir. But listen, all indications, as far as I know, are that it's a true story. Josh, yes. What do you make of this whole thing? Puka Nacua heading into a treatment facility, kind of going through the process of maybe bettering himself as a person. And what do you make of that whole thing?
I mean, it definitely appears to be true. His attorney, Levi McCathern, spoke with The Athletic yesterday where the news came out, and I will quote that now. Levi McCathern said he went there to, quote, focus on his health, personal growth, and overall development. He then continued saying, Puka takes responsibility for his well-being and increasing his performance during the offseason. He is committed to using the time constructively so that he can return in the best possible position, both personally and professionally, to continue contributing to his team and the game he loves. He'll complete the program in plenty of time to be involved in all of the Rams OTAs. Puka is also deeply grateful for the support he has received from his family, friends, coach, and his teammates, unquote. What that tells me is we're going here to help try to clean the image up so we can get paid more, and this will look good when we go to the court when this woman attempts to complete the lawsuit. So that's what it spells out, and
yeah,
I'm okay with the very least, take the rehab. And because we were talking about this last week, how things have been starting over these last several months to start spiraling. We're just crossing our fingers and hoping that they can kind of nip it in the bud, so to speak, right now, because then the Rams can try to figure out the contract on how he behaves going forward. Puka then realizes, hey, I need to straighten up so I can get this Jackson Smith and Jigba type contract.
Right.
And it's to try, hopefully, to better yourself. And I will tell you this, many, many years ago, I'm talking like, this is a good now 13 years ago. For about 6 months, I worked at a rehab facility. I was the only employee there that was not in recovery myself. And in my short time there, I watched some people get better. I saw some people go through the program and then come back into the program.
Yeah.
For whatever different reasons might have been. So the interesting thing with this article and with the news that has come out, no one knows specifically what he has chosen to go into rehab for. Because that plays a big role in it. Is it due to, this is just, I'm not claiming anything. This is just pure speculation. We don't know anything. There could be rehab due to a substance. There could be rehab due to anger. There could be rehab due to sexual gratification or whatever he's trying to do with these women. There are all different types of addictions, all different types of things you go to rehab for. The most important thing, though, is that you listen, you embrace the help, just like we were talking at the beginning of this hour with the whole Tiger Woods fiasco. And you try to come back better with it. I applaud the Rams for pushing this, even though it claims that Puka checked in himself. I'm sure there were people within the Rams who are just like, get this done. If you want us to consider paying you, you're going to take these steps. So I applaud that step is going in. That said, I'm in that boat that I was talking about with Tiger. Hey, you go through this, great. Screw up again. Why should we keep you here?
Yeah, I think the fact that he's going through the process is certainly a positive. And again, I've never really understood, and well, I shouldn't say I've never understood, but I've disagreed with a lot of the people that say, oh, he's only going through the rehab because he wants to get paid. Well, he's going to rehab. It could serve more than one good purpose, right? In going to rehab and getting help and all of these positive things towards his life, maybe, just maybe, it could lead to another good thing of like, you know what? The rehab actually did help him. Therefore, he's back on track for getting paid. Like,
rehab did what rehab's supposed to do.
Exactly. You know what I mean? I don't think that that's necessarily a terrible thing. No. So I think that there's, legitimacy here to the point of like, listen, if Puka Nacua, even if was encouraged by other people to do it, right? Because in these sorts of places, you're right, Josh, like nobody can force you to go. You could walk out anytime you want, right? If he's there and he's encouraged to be there, then again, that can only be viewed right now as a positive.
Yeah.
For me.
And again, and I appreciate the fact that the Rams are not giving him that extension yet.
No.
Right. Well, I'm glad, because there are plenty of teams that would have still given him the extension prior to him going to rehab with all this.
Mm-hmm.
So I applaud the Rams of, hey, we obviously want to pay you. We don't want you going anywhere because you're one of the 3 best receivers in football.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, listen,
you need to show us it's worth it.
The LA Times came out with an article today with the headline, Rams weigh future with Puka Nacua amid rehab legal trouble. Now, again, I can't read such article because I don't subscribe to the LA Times, but I'm assuming that based on the headline, and you really shouldn't do this.
I'm just glad you finished that sentence and you didn't just end it with "I can't read."
Yeah,
because that's where it began. I can't read this article because I don't pay for it.
Because I'm not subscribing to the paywall.
I just look at pictures. That's how I read.
Green eggs and ham. But anyway,
did I throw you off? I'm sorry.
Yep, 100%. You jammed me up completely.
You were talking about the LA Times article about their weighing their future.
Yeah. So, but I'm assuming, and like I said, you really shouldn't do that. You really shouldn't judge a story by its headline. You really shouldn't judge a book by its cover, the whole bit. But in this case, when I have to go through a paywall, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm assuming that the Rams probably are having that conversation, right? And we talked about it last week too, Josh, of just like they're probably saying in that building, we really got to be careful here. If we're going to make a long-term investment with Puka Nacua, we have to make sure that everything is right with him. Okay. So it may have been an organizational step. It may have been people internally with him saying, listen, the only way we're going to commit to you is if you genuinely commit to yourself to get better, right? If you recognize your wrongdoings and you take steps in bettering yourself. And if that's the thing that pushes him to, all right, fine, I'll do it. Good. Like the goal here should be for him to come out of this better than he was. So if that's the case and he ends up getting paid because of it, to me, that's a win-win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So again, hoping for the best in that scenario, but I don't know. Hopefully they, get him a mouth guard or something like that so he doesn't
get him a mouth guard for off the field purposes.
Get him a chew toy. Sorry.
No, you're not.
Oh God, I'm awful.
You're not sorry in the least.
No, I am. I'm terrible. I should be better. Anyway, we've got more super uplifting stories coming up in hour number 2. We'll be back.
What up, Cowboys Nation? We are Cowboys Can Fan.
Like Canadian fan. And we're big Dallas Cowboy fans. We live stream every Dallas Cowboys game with our unapologetic, intoxicated play-by-play and color commentary, and we guarantee you won't find anything like this anywhere else.
We do that in the ring together?
We told you not so bland was here to stay, baby.
And if you like to have a couple cold ones,
Crack 'em if you got 'em, son. Crack 'em if you got 'em, son.
Crack 'em if you got 'em. And watch the Dallas Cowboys play football.
you need to join us 1 hour before the Cowboys kick off, throw your score prediction in our live chat, and if you're right, guess what? We'll send you a shirt, some Can Fan merch. Click the link, check us out, and subscribe if you like what we do.
Oh, and remember, BYOB.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Bring your own boosh.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Bryson Carver, and I'm the host of the Carving It Up podcast right here on the Grid Network, as well as my own personal YouTube channel, Carving It Up with Bryson Carver. On my show, talk about a number of the biggest topics in the world of sports, as well as culture and entertainment, and I include special segments such as Bryson's Best 10, The Ball View, and one of my favorites, Carving Up the Context. I also like to invite special guests on the show to get different insights and perspectives on topics, and most importantly, I love to hear from you, the audience, in the chat below. So check out Carving It Up 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific time on YouTube, Facebook, X, and on Instagram. Check the show out anywhere you get your podcasts as well as on the YouTube channel. Appreciate you guys.
Alex Rodriguez is coming out with a documentary, and it goes into detail. Like, he's never talked about the steroid part of it and all the pressure. You will do a lot more desperate things to try to stay relevant, and you can see that he was straining to be this person that he wasn't, instead of just being the person that he always should have been. Just, I'm Alex Rodriguez, because of imposter syndrome. He had to be somebody that he wasn't. Goes to the Yankees, gets another big fucking contract. I empathize with that, because when you're this great player and people are looking at you and they're looking through you, it makes you realize that maybe Alex doesn't matter. I have to be A-Rod.
Yo, this is Barry Grant Jr. I want to give a big shout out to Mike and Josh, and be on the lookout for more clips from All Even Podcast.
This is Patrick L. Brown, lead journalist here at the Grid Network, reminding you to make sure that you check out all of the latest articles over on the Grid's webpage under the blog section. There you will find the hottest takes in sports, mixed in with some mental health articles as well. Dare to be different? Enter the Grid, your new leaders in digital media, sports, and entertainment. As I always say, stay tuned.
You are listening to Mike Guido and Josh Tariff. Buckle up! Buckle up! Yeah. Mike and Josh.
All righty, here we go. We are back.
Mike and Josh. Spit the
facts. We're back.
Cut the crap. Get the latest. Get the latest. Let's run it back.
Welcome back here to Mike and Josh, exclusively on the Grid Network. It is great to have you here. I'm Mike Guido. That's Josh Tariff. It is great to have you. I tried booking a tea time for this Saturday for me and my buddies during the break, and I ran out of time. So I am currently trying to multitask and make sure I do it, because it's going to be gone a Saturday, and I want to make sure I don't lose that reservation. But I don't know. We'll get there. Plenty of stuff to go over today. Again, it's great to have you here on this Thursday evening. We still have plenty to cover today. In about 10 or 15 minutes or so, we're going to kind of shift towards like the ABS conversation, right, in Major League Baseball. How is that working? Is it working to baseball's favor? We'll touch on that as well. The Final Four is this weekend. We'll kind of make our predictions for that, see who's going to take home the whole thing. I know what Josh thinks. I know Josh isn't straying off his prediction from early on. So that's
right.
We'll have that set in stone. I'll have to make a new prediction simply because my original prediction was doo-doo caca, but but
this is the type of intelligent sports chat that you get on the Mike and Josh show. When we bring up doo-doo caca.
From my babbling idiot mouth to your ears. No adjectives before the ears comment. But okay, let's go from one super uplifting story to another, Josh. Let's talk about Jaden Ivey. Now, I have covered the NBA draft for quite a long time. I shouldn't say quite a long time. There have been people that have been covering it a lot longer than me, but I have I've covered plenty of NBA drafts. The 2022 draft was the first draft I did with the Grid Network. And Jaden Ivey was my third overall player in that draft. Was it my third overall player? Was he? Yes, he was. I had him ranked over Paolo Banchero as a draft prospect. Shows you how much I know. But this is really an interesting story, and it's somewhat political, and I really, especially now, right? And early on when I was a younger broadcaster and I really didn't have very many other cares in the world, I was very brash in the way I handled these conversations. Now I have things that I want to handle these with a little bit more touch and English than I think I have in the past.
Okay.
Look, this to me feels like more than just what Jaden Ivey said. Because as far as I'm concerned, like, listen, I'm not somebody who I'm not really one of these, like, if you say a certain thing, you lose your job. I'm not one of those kind of people. I do think that more often than not, there are certain things that you can say in a political spectrum that are more acceptable than others. But I also think that if you just kind of take a step back and look at this entire situation, there are a lot of people saying that this is not really political. This is not something that is like we let him go because of what he said. The way it looks like is that the Chicago Bulls let him go because of what is going on with him mentally. So Josh, I'll kind of throw this at you. What do you make of this Jaden Ivey situation? Obviously, the Instagram lives that he's thrown up there have been pretty wild, to say the least.
Yep.
What do you make of this whole situation?
Well, to put it simply, the Bulls waiving Jaden Ivey was the best personnel move the Bulls have done in 20 years.
Right, yeah.
He has become I don't want to use the word distraction, because there are players that become distractions.
Mm-hmm.
He is not necessarily even fully, I don't have to use the word problem, because there are other players that have become problems. He has become an extreme liability, not just for the organization from a PR perspective, but as far as for all different other organizations and other teams. When he starts trying to call out other players based on their religious beliefs, when he starts asking reporters about their sexual histories prior to them interviewing him. These are just step by step of, why are you approaching these? And while you certainly have your freedom of speech right to say what, you can say whatever your opinion is on whatever the topic is. You are entitled to that. That does not entitle you to use the freedom of speech to then berate, disparage, and insult other people.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he's been doing. And he just continues to be doubling down on it over and over in social media. Because again, there are other players that have verbally shared similar viewpoints to Jaden Ivey in some areas. Michael Porter Jr. has said things in podcasts regarding these. Jonathan Isaac has said certain things regarding this. They have not been waived by their teams.
Yeah.
Why? Because they are not berating and degrading and trying to insult other organizations and people and bring them down to bring themselves up.
Yeah.
And something clearly happened with this back when he got his injury where he broke his leg or something like that, right? Isn't that what it was in 2020? Broken fibula in 2025. And obviously the stats haven't been there, but he was still a pivotal piece in the Pistons rebuild to where they've gotten. But then something has clearly happened over the last year with the mental state. And Detroit found a way to be like, nope, we got to get rid of this. We got to find a way.
Yeah.
And Chicago then discovered it and did the absolute right thing. Like, we understand how talented you were before your injury, and we hope that you can get there. But you cannot be acting like this for this organization and degrading and insulting all these type of people, these organizations, other people in the league, LGBTQ, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
This is a perfect example of what I talked about in hour one, where people just seem to be above the law. The Bulls did something right. And I know it's extremely rare. Bulls fans, if any Bulls fans listening right now, they have not heard the Bulls did something right in the same sentence in many, many years.
Yep.
But this was something right to do. Mm-hmm. And again, I hope Jaden Ivey gets the help he needs. And hopefully he can show that he received this help to earn a second chance somewhere. Until we see it, he should not be signed anywhere.
So here's the thing. I think that Jaden Ivey's NBA career is over.
Mm-hmm.
And it's unfortunate to say that because Jaden Ivey was genuinely a solid NBA player.
Yes, he was.
And again, after the injury, obviously there was obviously some recovery time, and he was still kind of working his way back. And the Pistons felt it was necessary to move on from him. They were better. He was sort of an expendable piece for them. Obviously, Asar Thompson has something to do with that as well.
Prior to the injury in the 24-25 season, he was averaging 17.5 points, 4 assists.
Right. He was a near 20-point per game scorer.
Yeah.
Certainly the talent was there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I mean, Josh, is I think regardless of the comments itself, and I that's something that I really want to stress about this, because I think a lot of people are throwing it out there as if the Bulls released him because of the comments he made. I don't think that that's the case. I really don't. I think this goes much deeper than that.
Mm-hmm.
And it really does, and I agree with you, Josh. I mean, I think that there's a lot of there certainly are consequences with actions and everything like that. But I mean, there has to be something legitimately wrong, because
yes,
Jaden Ivey has a wife and 3 kids. This guy was leading a fairly normal life until a week ago. It's such a weird story with him. I mean, this is why I always ask the question. And honestly, we kind of have a theme for today, but we do. Again, with the Puka Nacua stuff and the Tiger Woods stuff, and now we're talking about Jaden Ivey, there has to be something about being a professional athlete that just changes your brain. It just does. There needs to be some sort of correlation, because it's not just football players, right? It's so easy to point at a lot of the mental issues that football players have and point to it being, well, It's a lot of hard hits. It's a lot of helmet to helmet contact. You know what I mean? It's a lot of this, and that can hurt you. I mean, obviously, Josh, we've talked about in the past, the Antonio Brown stuff and like all of that, but it isn't just football players, right? It's legitimate professional athletes. Again, Jaden Ivey was a perfectly normal person a week ago.
Well,
at least as far as we knew.
Yeah,
right?
to the common person. Yes.
Right. Exactly. Right. He had a normal looking family, and like the guy looked like he had, a normal life.
Yeah.
Something needs to have happened, regardless of, because again, a lot of people are turning this into a Christian, non-Christian, anti-LGBTQ argument. I don't know that I don't think that's the conversation to have right here. I really don't.
I agree. It should not be the conversation, because that's not what the issue is. Because like I said,
cool.
there are other players that have expressed similar feelings about that.
Right. Exactly.
They haven't been waived.
Right.
And as an Orlando Magic fan, I've been wanting for years for Jonathan Isaac to be waived just because of how terribly inconsistent he's been. Had nothing to do with his comments.
Yeah. Well, and listen, I was again, you want to talk about draft guys, I was big on Jonathan Isaac too when Jonathan Isaac came out of the draft too. So again, shows how much I know on that subject, but it really does. It just runs so much deeper. And it's unfortunate because you look at so many of these situations with professional athletes, and it's just like, for the lack of a better term, they go crazy.
Yeah.
And look, this might not be that, right? It might not be. I mean, this could be just an episode of some sorts. And by this time next year, Jaden Ivey is back to normal on an NBA roster, sort of like this whole situation can completely turn around. But as of right now, the feeling that I get, Josh, is that whenever these situations do occur, it usually means that's it. Mm-hmm. It usually means that that's the end of it. So I hope that's not the case for him, but I'm getting the feeling it is.
I can legitimately see, as crazy as it sounds, within the next year or so, Jaden Ivey is either playing internationally,
yeah,
or they somehow put him on Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, jeez.
And I wish I was joking.
Dancing with the Stars?
Something along those lines.
Yeah.
On hey, this athlete who's trying to clean up his public image,
he'll go on The Masked Singer.
Like one of them, something.
Oh, jeez, man. Oh, yeah. Well, look,
he's either playing in Taiwan or he's going to be on The Masked Singer. It's like one or the other.
Oh my God. Well, and the reality is, Josh, is that I think you're probably right about that.
Maybe he'll be on The Masked Singer in Taiwan. Who knows?
He could. That is a possibility. He absolutely could be. So listen, I'm hoping that it works out for him again. But I don't know. Usually when this stuff happens, Josh, it just means that it's over.
Yeah.
So I think that's really the road that we're heading down for him, unfortunately. Okay. We'll take another break. Coming up next, the ABS system in Major League Baseball. It was something that everybody's been like praying for the longest time. And through the first week or so of the Major League Baseball season, we've gotten to really see how it works. How do you think it works? Make sure you chime in the comment sections once we come back.
Cowboys Nation, what up? It's your boy EJ Savage over here at Boys in the Zone, where it's everything Cowboys related, from the latest news, off-season talk like training camp and draft analysis, and of course, during season game breakdowns and commentary. Would love to see you in the chat kicking it with myself and other members of Cowboys Nation, whether it be a guest that I myself bring in, or Cowboys fan forum videos where I bring you guys on, or even other chat members. We're always live on Twitter and YouTube, talking the boys. So really, the only thing left to say is, how about them Cowboys? See you there. Peace.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Tim Barnett, and welcome into the Boston Sports Summit. If you're a fan of any of these four teams right here, or you're like me and you love all four of them and you follow them religiously, you're a big fan, this is the show for you. The big thing with this is real commentary and authenticity. I'm going to tell you like it is. If we're great, then we're great. But if we suck, I'm going to tell you that we suck and we need to improve. I'm also not afraid to call out our ownership or front office for making bad decisions, just like I'm not afraid to call out our coaches or our players for screwing some things up or doing great. All right? Because that's what this show is all about. It's about authenticity. So listen, if you're a fan of any of these teams or you're a fan of all four of them, check me out, the Boston Sports Summit, every Wednesday, live at 7 p.m., and it's electric, all right? We're going to go into some great detail about the Sox, Patriots, Celtics, and even the Bruins. And hey, you might even get a guest appearance from my little puppy here. So, it's a great show. Don't forget to tune in every Wednesday, 7 p.m. You can also follow me on all socials, on Instagram, X, and YouTube, Boston Sports Summit. So check us out. It's a great show. It's a great time. Hope to see you there. God bless.
What's going on, y'all? It's Arthur Hurst from the Grid Network, letting y'all know to check out the Saturday morning tailgate starting at 10 Eastern every Saturday. Check us out on YouTube, X, Instagram, wherever you get your podcasts. Tune in for some humor, some great analytics between me, my boy Bryson, and Tim. Again, Saturday morning tailgate every Saturday at 10 Eastern on the Grid Network. See y'all there.
Welcome back to Mike and Josh. It is great to have you here on a Thursday evening. I'm Mike Guido. That's Josh Tariff. So we're about a week into the Major League Baseball season, and the ABS system has been in full effect for about a week. So
I'm
you're already clapping, Josh. You're You're already into it.
I am.
For those of you that don't know, the ABS system is the I guess the review system for ball and strike calls, which is something that Major League Baseball has never had before. It is something that fans have been complaining about forever. And it is now finally in effect. And I think going fairly well, I'll say that. So, Josh, what do you make of the ABS system? Like I said, again, you didn't hide your feelings very well, Josh. You pretty much came into the break came right out of the break, clapping your hands and flopping around like a fish. So just tell me what you think.
First of all, I'm a very handsome fish.
A flounder.
Second of all, why did I have to hide it? We have been wanting something like this for so many years. Why has tennis been the only sport that has gotten replay right forever? All it was, hey, I think that was out. Oh, well, let's immediately look at the replay on exactly where the ball landed. Oh, it's in. All right. Oh, it's out. All right, cool. Problem solved. 10 seconds. Done. And we move on. Baseball is finally doing that.
Yeah.
And I like the fact, and please, correct me on this if I'm wrong. The teams get 2 challenges a game, but if they get it right, then they don't lose that challenge. It just continues until they get them wrong.
Yeah.
Which is great because that means you can't challenge every single pitch. So, you need to use them wisely.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also showing how incredibly talented baseball players really are. Because the success rate that players, hitters, and catchers have had, where a ball is being thrown 95 miles an hour, and they can tell, oh, you called that a strike? No, it was a couple millimeters off. You need to check that. And then they're right. Just shows the incredible skill that baseball players have, which is forgotten too much. He can throw fast or he can hit hard. No, there's a lot more to go into it with baseball players.
Yeah.
And overall, so far, I had the numbers in front of me and then they went away. As of right now, there's been roughly around 55% of challenges been successful. So that has caused games that definitely could change outcomes of games based on that success rate. And the interesting thing is there's really just like maybe 3 or 4 umpires that as of right now are feeling the wrath of what's been going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there certainly is a strategic part of it.
Yes.
Right. One of the things that I like about it, because I'll be honest with you, like as far as like robo umps and everything like that, I've always hated that idea. I've always hated it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think there's more to it than just like, is it in the box? You know what I mean? Like, I think there's more to baseball than just that.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say one of the things that I like about it is that it does keep everybody honest, right?
Yes.
I love the fact that, and it's not just it keeps the umpires honest. It keeps the players honest. Okay. There's so much more accountability when it comes to this simply because let's look at it this way, Josh. You just said the number was what for like success rate and challenge?
Roughly 54%.
54%. So we're pretty much splitting it halfway. And throughout the season, that number is going to get a little smaller. It's going to get to, it's going to hover around 50%, I'm sure, around the whole year. Okay.
Well, because you're also going to have some umpires that get better at it as the season goes on.
That is also a part of it, but also like it kind of makes it so that not because the argument's always been like all these umpires suck, right? No, the player needs to get proved wrong too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I've always been a proponent of like, all right, if we're going to check people, then let's check it on both sides, right? So I'm 100% for that. The strategic part of it, I do love. And I think that the way that Major League Baseball, this might be my favorite part of it, of the whole ABS system, because again, I said the same thing about the pitch clock, and I thought I was going to hate it, but I actually don't.
Mm-hmm.
I got to be honest with you. The way that they present it is entertaining.
Yeah.
They do it like how they do it in tennis, right? where it's fully digitized. You can see it.
Yep.
Right? It's not just you stick your head in the booth and nobody sees what's going on, right? Like you actually can see it, right? And it's fun because like if there's a pitch that's less than a tenth of an inch, right, off the plate or below the zone or whatever it is, you're just like, oh man, how did they get that? Because it's so like it's fun to see just how minuscule it is.
And it's on average right now taking 13.8 seconds to do.
Right.
Where there's been in the past, before the pitch clock, we will wait upwards of like 45 seconds for a pitcher to throw the damn ball.
Right.
So this kind of leads me to another question that I want to throw at you. To me, obviously it's only early, like a week and a half to 2 weeks into the season with this.
Mm-hmm.
But when you put this along with the pitch clock, along with the World Baseball Classic that just wrapped up, among some other things, has Manfred become the best commissioner in sports?
Look, that's such an impossible question for me to answer.
Because I'm starting to feel like he is. Because of all the issues that Goodell has had in the NFL, the continuing growth of issues that Adam Silver has been having in the NBA, especially like with All-Star Weekend.
I have never been an Adam Silver fan in the NBA. I've never been an Adam Silver guy. Rob Manfred, I think, here's the thing. I wouldn't call Rob Manfred a great or good commissioner per se. And a lot of it is hard for me to judge because there's a lot that goes into being a commissioner that I don't know. So I'm not going to try and sit here and say, oh, he's good or he's bad. However, I do think that Rob Manfred has gotten more heat than he probably deserves.
Mm-hmm.
Roger Goodell is, look, I don't know. I sit with Roger Goodell about the same way I sit with Rob Manfred. You know, like I kind of view them in sort of similar lights. Not everything they do I agree with, but in general, are they terrible? No, I probably wouldn't say so. So I don't know if I would call Rob Manfred the best commissioner in sports. I don't know that answer, but I do think that some of these cosmetic things that they've done in the game, and some of them are not fully cosmetic, but like ABS, I think is a good thing. Pitch clock is a good thing, right? The extended netting in stadiums that they made a regulation, I think that's a good thing, right? I do kind of like the fact that they increased the size of the bases by a little bit, right? Because it now adds more elements to the game that we were losing, right? Banning the shift is another thing that I really like that they did. So, like, there's a lot of good there. And I also think that over time, just in sport, and not even really just in sports, but in a lot of other things too, the world has become very, very very pro-consumer, very pro-union, very pro-labor. Like they've become, in that sort of sense, like pro-labor, anti-owner, like that sort of deal. Okay. I've always kind of fell on the, like, well, I'm not a huge fan of billionaire owners not spending a ton of money either, but I also don't think the players are right about everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's kind of where I've fallen on this whole thing. So in that respect, I don't know, man. Like to me, like we're destined for a lockout after this season, and it's really sad. But again, I think this stuff feels like it belongs. I got to say, like, and believe me, as far as like baseball purism and everything like that, like I I'm a guy who loves the traditional sense of the game. If they never added the DH to the National League, I would have been fine with that. Like, it's not like I'm begging for these changes. But as these changes do come along, I do think it's positively progressing the game. I do.
Yeah.
So I can't really complain all that much. I really can't. So to answer your question, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I'd be curious. Because we got a bunch of you tuning in live right now, which is awesome. We love to find out. Do you think that? Are you liking ABS, or any other questions or thoughts with all the other crazy things that we've been talking about so far on this show?
Yeah.
Because tell us what you agree with. Tell us how we're wrong in something. I don't care. I always just love hearing from the people, because Mike, you and I feel like we're men of the people.
You think so?
We're part of the people. We're part.
Should we run for office?
Well, if you're really that negative on Adam Silver
and Tariff 2028.
Why are you first?
Tariff and Guido 2028. It doesn't make a difference to me.
Oh, it does. President, vice president. That's a big difference, sir.
No, I don't care enough about that.
Are you even old enough to be president?
How old do you have to be? 35?
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Well, then I guess I'm running solo.
Am I old enough to be vice president?
I don't think so.
You have to be the same. You have to be 35.
Right, because if
God forbid.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
All right.
All right, I'm out.
All right. Well, okay. New question to live viewers. Who should my running mate be, apparently? Because it can't be Mike Guido. So
your running mate,
he's too young.
Your running
he's
mate
just learning how to rent a car right now.
Should be George Clingy.
George Clingy?
George Clingy.
Remind me who George Clingy is.
Oh, come on, Josh. It's a show staple. George Clooney keeps blowing up your phone to get you into another movie.
Oh.
So we nicknamed him George Clingy.
So, I sometimes forget about that because I mute his number.
Wow.
So this way I don't get all the texts all at once, and occasionally I'll just check in, like, what do you want now?
Do you filter it by like keyword or something like that? If there's like a keyword that he sends you, that's when you'll answer it, or that's when you'll get the notification?
Yeah, usually if he
look at the picture of my puppy.
If he throws the word babe or honey or something like that in there, then I'm like, oh, what does he got to say this time? and then I would check.
Oh, jeez. Oh man.
A tariff Clooney political ticket. That I think could work well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Watch out, Stephen A. Smith. I'm taking your spot.
There you go. There you go. One of my buddies said that he thinks that Stephen A. Smith is going to be Stephen A. Smith's going to win a primary. He really thinks that.
I'm terrified if that happens.
But listen, I'm telling you right now, Josh. The political.
I'd rather have Pat McAfee than Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, would you?
Yes. At least McAfee would be fun.
You don't think Stephen A. would be fun?
No. When was the last time Stephen A. did anything fun besides attempting to act on General Hospital?
You don't think he did well in General Hospital? You said attempting to act. You don't think he did well?
Are we?
I didn't watch it, Josh. I don't watch General Hospital.
Why not?
Gosh, why not? Because I'm younger than 60. How about that?
Apparently, I'm not. If I can run for president. So.
Yeah, you'd be the youngest president in recent memory, Josh.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah, this country has an infatuation with old men in office.
But you know what they need to do? We need to add the ABS system to the votes. Easy. We can count them all in 15 seconds.
They need to add the ABS system.
So find a way to add it into the votes.
This vote was
if
half an inch off the plate.
If you challenge a vote, let's go to ABS and immediately see it.
There you go. Where you can see people's Scantron to see how they bubbled in the circle.
Yeah, more reason that Manfred is the best commissioner in sports right now, because he's fixed He's fixed the voting system.
There you go. There you go. See, now we're just spewing crap. Now, and I'm not even sure we're making sense anymore.
When are we making sense?
It's a great question. All right. We'll take one more break. Coming up next, the Final Four is this weekend. We'll start making our predictions. We'll see who's going to take home the big championship game, who will take the games this Saturday. Illinois and UConn, Michigan and Arizona in the Final Four. We'll touch on that next.
Cowboys Nation, what up? It's your boy EJ Savage over here at Boys in the Zone, where it's everything Cowboys related, from the latest news, off-season talk like training camp and draft analysis, and of course, during season game breakdowns and commentary. Would love to see you in the chat kicking it with myself and other members of Cowboys Nation, whether it be a guest that I myself bring in, or Cowboys fan forum videos where I bring you guys on, or even other chat members. We're always live on Twitter and YouTube talking the boys, so really the only thing left to say is, how about them Cowboys? See you there. Peace.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Tim Barnett, and welcome into the Boston Sports Summit. If you're a fan of any of these four teams right here, or you're like me and you love all four of them and you follow them religiously, you're a big fan, this is the show for you. The big thing with this is real commentary and authenticity. I'm going to tell you like it is. If we're great, then we're great. But if we suck, I'm going to tell you that we suck and we need to improve. I'm also not afraid to call out our ownership or front office for making bad decisions, just like I'm not afraid to call out our coaches or our players for screwing some things up or doing great. All right? Because that's what this show is all about. It's about authenticity. So listen, if you're a fan of any of these teams or you're a fan of all four of them, check me out, the Boston Sports Summit, every Wednesday, live at 7 p.m., and it's electric, all right? We're going to go into some great detail about the Sox, Patriots, Celtics, and even the Bruins, and hey, you might even get a guest appearance from my little puppy here. So, it's a great show. Don't forget to tune in every Wednesday, 7 p.m. You can also follow me on all socials, on Instagram, X, and YouTube, Boston Sports Summit. So check us out. It's a great show. It's a great time. Hope to see you there. God bless.
What up, Cowboys Nation? We are Cowboys Can Fan.
You know, like Canadian fan. And we're big Dallas Cowboy fans. We live stream every Dallas Cowboys game with our unapologetic, intoxicated play-by-play and color commentary, and we guarantee you won't find anything like this anywhere else.
We do that in the ring together?
We told you not so bland was here to stay, baby.
And if you like to have a couple cold ones,
Crack 'em if you got 'em, son. Crack 'em if you got 'em, son.
Crack 'em if you got 'em. And watch the Dallas Cowboys play football.
you need to join us 1 hour before the Cowboys kick off. Throw your score prediction in our live chat, and if you're right, guess what? We'll send you a shirt, some Can Fan merch. Click the link, check us out, and subscribe if you like what we do.
Oh, and remember, BYOB.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Bring your own boosh.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Bryson Carver, and I'm the host of the Carving It Up podcast right here on the Grid Network, as well as my own personal YouTube channel, Carving It Up with Bryson Carver. On my show, talk about a number of the biggest topics in the world of sports, as well as culture and entertainment, and I include special segments such as Bryson's Best 10, The Ball View, and one of my favorites, Carving Up the Context. I also like to invite special guests on the show to get different insights and perspectives on topics, and most importantly, I love to hear from you, the audience, in the chat below. So check out Carving It Up 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific time on YouTube, Facebook, X, and on Instagram. Check the show out anywhere you get your podcasts as well as on the YouTube channel. Appreciate you guys.
Alex Rodriguez is coming out with a documentary, and it goes into detail. Like, he's never talked about the steroid part of it and all the pressure. You will do a lot more desperate things to try to stay relevant, and you can see that he was straining to be this person that he wasn't, instead of just being the person that he always should have been. Just, I'm Alex Rodriguez because of imposter syndrome. He had to be somebody that he wasn't. goes to the Yankees, gets another big fucking contract. I empathize with that because when you're this great player and people are looking at you and they're looking through you, it makes you realize that maybe Alex doesn't matter. I have to be A-Rod.
Yo, this is Barry Grant Jr. I want to give a big shout out to Mike and Josh and be on the lookout for more clips from All Even Podcast.
This is Patrick L. Brown, lead journalist here at the Grid Network, reminding you to make sure that you check out all of the latest articles over on the Grid's webpage under the blog section. There you will find the hottest takes in sports mixed in with some mental health articles as well. Dare to be different? Enter the Grid, your new leaders in digital media, sports, and entertainment. As I always say, stay tuned.
All righty, welcome back to Mike and Josh exclusively here on the Grid Network. That's Josh Tariff. I'm Mike Guido. It's great to have you here on a Thursday evening. We're about 12 minutes or so out from the end of our program today. Again, one of our busier shows, Josh. I mean, really, we did have a gluttony of topics.
And it was all super happy, positive, butterflies and rainbows, all that.
Yep, sunshines, rainbows, cookie dough, the whole bit.
And Kirk Cousins got paid. That's
right. Kirk Cousins. We got some ABS, and then a bunch of real positive, again, uplifting and inspiring, might I say, stories on today's program. Anywho, the Final Four. We have reached the Final Four of March Madness, the NCAA tournament. Illinois and UConn, Michigan and Arizona, to see who plays in the national championship. Illinois, by the way, is right now, the way that I'm seeing it, Illinois is a 1.5 favorite over UConn. Michigan is a 1.5 favorite over Arizona.
Yes.
So interesting to see that a 3 seed. They're the favorite right now over UConn, over a 2 seed, and then 2 1 seeds going at it. Josh, I think this requires no real explanation for you, but I'm assuming your picks are not changing, right?
Well, considering they were put in my bracket as UConn defeated Michigan in the finals, it'd be really weird of me to change that now.
Yeah.
That said, Illinois, to me, has been beyond impressive in this tournament.
Yeah.
They have really shown between Wagler and Mirkovic, Boswell, that these are players that have built a program there that wants to hang with the big basketball schools. UConn, as I said before March Madness began, if you have UConn as a top 3 seed, I'm putting them in a Final Four.
Yeah.
And look what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then Arizona, to their credit, they actually did it. They were a top seed, as they typically are, but actually won games.
Yeah, they did.
So, part of me is rooting a little bit for Arizona just because it's been so long for them, and they've always been like a top program that just always seems to choke. So it'd be cool for them to win. It'd be cool to see Illinois pull it out. But UConn's winning. UConn's going to find a way to win. They were 8-point underdogs against Duke. They're a 1.5 underdog, as you pointed out, to Illinois. They'll be an underdog against whoever they face in the finals. But they got the ref intimidator, Dan Hurley, as their coach.
Yeah.
By the way, how did Dan Hurley not get a technical foul?
Yeah, that's the oddest. That maybe it was just
I don't
the ref
understand.
was just so shocked that took place that he froze.
Can you just imagine if the technical was called as it should have been,
mm-hmm.
the pressure on whoever shoots the free throw for Illinois, and the amount of pressure on Dan Hurley for if that Illinois player hit the free throw.
Right. It's so crazy. By the way, I mean, the way that UConn won that basketball game it's
up there with Leitner.
Yeah,
it has to be up there with Leitner.
I mean, that's and such a critical turnover by Boozer, and just the way that took place is beyond. I've always wondered what it's what it needs to be like to have a moment in your life that is that triumphant, right?
Yeah.
That needs to be the it needs to be the greatest feeling ever. It just has to.
I mean, if UConn were to win the championship, they still got to beat Indiana and still got to beat whoever comes out of Arizona and Michigan. But if they were to win, Byron Mullins does not need to get to the NBA to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
He will have a forever home doing whatever UConn wants him to do, and everyone's going to pay for anything he ever wants in the state of Connecticut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that is
Braylon Mullins, not Byron.
Sorry,
Byron Mullins. Byron Mullins, the Byron Mullins, the NBA great, by the way, Byron Mullins, Braylon Mullins. But yes, so it is so interesting because I'm stunned that UConn is not a favorite in this game. I would absolutely, in this matchup, I would absolutely pick them, led by Alex Karaban, obviously. But I also think that, this is a team that is so battle tested. I just have the track record, the coaching, that's what really puts it over the edge for me. So I think UConn's going to end up winning that game. And Michigan and Arizona, there is something about Arizona this year, Josh.
Yeah,
it really is. There is something about Arizona this year. They are so talented. Now, again, I think Michigan is a deeper team than Arizona is. I do. Mm-hmm. I think Michigan can go deeper into their bench. They can get fresh legs on the floor and have it not kill them. I think Michigan has that going for them. But with Koa Pete and Burries and Jaden Bradley and these the guys that they have at the top, I mean, they have multiple players that can just kill you at any given moment. And Koa Pete is probably a top 5 player in the whole nation right now. So I don't know. The Arizona Wildcats for me are just such an attractive option. I would say if I were making predictions right now, I would say UConn and Arizona in the national championship. And again, my picks mean nothing because my bracket is in utter shambles.
So then for the sake of my bracket, do not pick UConn to win the championship.
Right. Pick Illinois and pick Michigan.
Okay. That's fine.
Because, I'm going to, right.
Again,
because I touched it,
yes,
it means it's going to go wrong. Right.
Yes.
100%. It's the way it goes. It's the way it goes. The way it always goes. Again, I will retell this story over and over and over again. I forget exactly which year it was, but it was, again, it needs to have been 8 years ago, something along those lines. And I made the greatest bracket of all time, and I will never make it a bracket that good ever again. I literally was top 1% in the world based on my picks through the first weekend. I was so perfect. I think I got I don't know, maybe a game or two wrong, maybe in the first weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It was insane how good my bracket was. And then in the Sweet 16, it completely fell apart. But through the first weekend, I was the talk of the town. That was awesome. Oh man, was it great. Was there ever, Josh, a point where you had a bracket that you did you have a year like me where your bracket was just unbelievable?
Where at a moment it was, there was, honestly, it was only maybe a few years ago, maybe 3 years ago. I think in that first weekend, like you're describing, I think I got something like 27 or 28 out of the 32 games correct. And I was just like, oh my God, this is destiny. This is unbelievable.
Yeah. All right.
I think I got 6 right in the second round.
Yeah. Yep.
It could not have flipped more than it did.
Yep.
And that, though, is the hilarity and the beauty and the tragedy of March Madness.
Is it still the thing where do they even still do it, Josh? Or was that did they never do it and it was just a rumor where if you actually got the perfect bracket, you won
for $1 billion?
Yeah, you won an absurd amount of money.
Warren Buffett did that for a few years. He offered it for the only way you can get it is a perfect bracket. And no one ever got it.
And nobody ever will get it.
Right.
The odds of that happening are so beyond. Now I actually have to look it up.
I'm typing it up right now to find out.
Yeah, odds for
having a perfect NCAA
March Madness bracket. It is 1 in 9.2 quintillion, which is what? So just to give you an idea, that is 1 in 9.2 times 10 to the 18th power. So insane. Ay.
So
this is more.
So it does say
one specific grain of sand out of all the sand on Earth.
Now, if you do have sports and basketball knowledge like you and I do, we have an advantage in this. For those people that have basketball knowledge, it's only 1 in 120 billion. So we're due.
The deepest known perfect bracket in the men's tournament went 49 games in 2019, but failed in the Sweet 16.
But so think about that. The best perfect bracket failed in round 3.
Right. Yep.
Couldn't even get to the Final Four. Couldn't even breathe the opportunity.
No. That's what I'm saying, Josh, is it will, there's a list of things that will never happen that are technically possible, but they'll never actually happen.
Like the Orlando Magic winning the championship.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. or there ever being a Magic City night in the NBA. You love how it always comes back
It
to
all
that?
comes back to Magic City.
Always comes back to
One
Magic
of these
City.
days, and for anyone listening that lives in the Atlanta area, if you want to connect us to Magic City, for us to do an episode live from Magic City, we would be willing to do that for you guys. Because again, just like I said earlier, we're men of the people. We will go to Magic City and put this show on just for you.
I'm only there for the wings.
There.
I'm only there for. All right, that does it for us. That's Josh Tariff. I'm Mike Guido. It is great to have you here, and together we
You are
sing.
listening to Mike Guido and Josh Tariff. Buckle up!
Every Thursday from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock Eastern, we will be here.
Now, based on the environment, though, we could only go to Magic City on amateur night for Mike. Because Mike is an amateur for those venues. So we didn't make sure he feels comfortable.
Oh, my. We'll see you next week.